Private First Class Eli Mercer didn't talk much. He wasn't the kind of soldier people noticed. He stood at the back during drills, eyes low, notebook tucked in his sleeve. While others swapped war stories and shouted across the barracks, Eli just listened. Observed. Wrote. He looks like he should be teaching English lit, one of the corporals joked during chow. Probably cries during letters from home, another added. Even Sergeant Mills, a grizzled war dog with 3 tours under his belt, once muttered, "I don't trust quiet men with soft eyes." Eli heard them all. But he said nothing. They didn't know that the notebook wasn't just filled with poems. It held maps he studied in secret. First aid notes. Little drawings of his squad, even the ones who mocked him. He was stationed with Echo Unit in a remote combat outpost in eastern Afghanistan. The terrain was rough. The locals were wary. And every shadow looked like it could hide a rifle. But Eli was calm. He helped patch tents in sandstorms. Helped translate with villagers when no one else could. Shared his coffee with the medic. Stayed up nights sketching the mountains by moonlight, and letters home he never had the courage to send. He missed his mom. He carried his sister's bracelet on his dog tag chain. To the others, he didn't look like a fighter. But Eli wasn't here to prove anything. He was here to do his job. And protect the ones who couldn't protect themselves. Even the ones who didn't believe in him. It was supposed to be routine. Recon patrol. Low risk. Same route as always. 6 men, light gear, radios on. But halfway through the canyon, everything changed. The first blast took out the radio truck. The second scattered the team. Smoke. Dust. Screams. When Eli came to, his ears rang like sirens. Private Dawson was beside him, leg torn open and trembling. Sergeant Mills, alive, but unconscious. His face was pale, lips dry. The comms were dead. GPS jammed. And the air felt too still. Most froze. Some panicked. They looked at each other for direction. No one moved. But Eli didn't freeze. He moved with quiet purpose. He tore open the medic kit, pressed a bandage to Dawson's thigh, whispered calming words like he had when his sister skinned her knee back home. Then he took out that same notebook, not for poetry this time. Not for sketches. He drew a map in the dirt with trembling fingers. Marked cliffs, the sun's position, escape paths he remembered from long nights awake studying terrain. "What are you doing, man?" Private Torres asked, blood soaking his shoulder. "Planning a way out," Eli said. His voice was different now. Still soft, but steady. Like someone who'd already decided they weren't dying here. He assigned watches. Rationed water. Turned his belt into a splint. And when someone cried, he knelt beside them and said, "Breathe. I got you." They crawled all night. Through canyons. Under barbed fences. Across cold riverbeds. He gave them hope when they had none left. He carried Sergeant Mills on his back, whispering, "Just a little farther, Sarge. Just a little farther." And when the evac chopper finally arrived at dawn, 5 broken men stumbled into its light. All alive. Because of the one they mocked. At the base, no one said a word as they limped in. The major rushed forward. "Who led you back?" he asked. They all turned to Eli. Dust-caked. Bruised. Holding his notebook like it was something holy. The major blinked. "You?" Eli just nodded. Then sat on a crate and started writing again, his hands shaking now. No medals. No speeches. Just a boy with ink-stained fingers and a spine of steel. Word spread. Even Sergeant Mills, still wrapped in bandages, found him a few days later. Stood at attention. Looked him in the eye. "Never judge a man by his silence," he said. And then he saluted. Eli didn't change much. Still walked quiet. Still wrote when no one watched. still stared at the mountains with wonder in his eyes. But now, the others walked with him, talked with him, respected him. Not because he shouted, not because he looked like a hero, but because when everything went to hell, he was the only one who didn't fall apart. Because sometimes, the one they mock is the only one strong enough to carry them all home. Speech balloon. If this story moved you, subscribe to the Soul Script, tap like, and drop a flexed biceps in the comments below for the quiet warriors who speak only when it matters most.